show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, CaneSport. It's October 11th, 2021. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, joined as always by our managing editor, Matt Shodell, as we discuss the news of the day. And Matt, the news of the day really, I would say, is centered around recruiting, and it's not all good news, and not surprisingly so. Miami's early season struggles are clearly taking an effect on recruiting. Things seem very quiet on the Hurricane front in that regard, and the commitments are being essentially assaulted by other programs trying to flip them and get them interested in starting to seemingly have some success. So let me start with Chris Graves, who I feel might be the best defensive back commit on the board right now. He went to Gainesville Saturday for the Florida Vanderbilt game, and he tweeted out a picture of himself in Gator garb saying, "Just going to games," which, okay, a little weird that he did that, but he was in Gainesville, he was dressed as a Gator, and he chose to tweet out "just going to games." Well, of course, in Gainesville, nobody was buying any of that, and they obviously were taking his appearance up there very seriously, as they should have been. And by Sunday morning, the tune had totally changed. Now he's tweeting out that he's going to take his final 2 visits. And so clearly one of those is going to almost certainly be to Gainesville again, to go back to Florida, and then there'll be another one. And Matt, when we've seen this in the past, it hasn't usually worked out well. I think it's pretty clear that Chris Graves is seriously considering certainly reopening his recruitment, if he hasn't theoretically already done that with his tweet on Sunday morning, and 2, that he's very seriously considering Florida.
Yeah, and in the past, when this sort of thing has happened, it hasn't gone well, especially, look, we do our job, right? We reach out to the kid, we text him, we're not going to annoy the kid. We'll text him, do you feel like talking? Are you taking these other visits? Where else are you visiting? And in the past, he's always been super friendly. We met him in person several times, always responds, always does interviews.
Very nice
now,
kid.
All of a sudden, from our end, won't talk to Miami, won't talk to us, but he's doing other interviews with Florida sites, as you've seen. Not a great sign. I texted him again yesterday a couple of times, just, hey, what's going on? Are you still with Miami? Are you still committed? Where are you visiting? No response. So that's generally not a great sign, having done this for a long time from Miami. They like to correspond and get to know the reporters where they're going to wind up, of course, because they know those are the guys who are writing about them, and they're high school kids they enjoy getting written about. When they decide they're not going to that school, they generally stop communicating with us, which is what's happening. So this is not good. My guess is if he finds a place that he feels he likes, he'll decommit then. For now, Miami's like a placeholder, which is exactly what Manny Diaz never wanted to be, and now he's stuck as a placeholder. And the other, I have a feeling other commits are going to wind up following suit. This is a bad precedent for Miami. It's breaking the rule that Manny Diaz set when you commit, and this is what happens when you have a coach who is on the verge of potentially being let go, and these commits don't want to be in that situation.
And and they're all facing the same situation. Another one I heard about this weekend, Valente Carswell, who is getting absolutely bombarded by many other schools. He has not decommitted per se. In fact, he has said he remains committed, and but there is speculation that part of that could be just out of loyalty to Miami and not wanting to say that at this point. But there's certainly, I think, question as to whether he's going to come to Miami, and that would be a huge blow since he's an athletic offensive lineman who a lot of people I talk to say is an underrated prospect. That kid's got a world of potential. So we'll keep following that one. Other recruiting updates we have today on a positive note. There's 2023 defensive end Ruben Bain from Miami Central. He's getting recruited by everybody as well, taking a lot of trips. So we have an update with him. But Miami's still in a decent place there, at least, and you're still a year away from that really being a recruitment that's going to come to fruition. So it's interesting to see what he's doing and hear about his trips and his offers and stuff. But that's not one that you need to be concerned about. We have an update on Justin Medlock talking about how he's going to be coming to town to check out the NC State game. That'll be a big recruiting moment for Miami to look well on that stage. We have an update on four-star 2023 cornerback Makari Vickers today. T-Rob is recruiting him very hard, so you'll enjoy catching up on that one. We have an update on Alfonso Allen, also continuing to wait for an offer. He hasn't gotten one yet, so that's on the site this morning. You can check that out. And we have a real talk evaluation on Jaylen Brown, wide receiver from Miami Gulliver, who's really just having a great season and looks really, really good. I think he's going to eventually rise to a 5-star. Just looks like that type of talent to me when I take a look at him. So you guys can check that out as Coach Hayes breaks down his film and see what you think about how Jaylen Brown looks to this point. A couple notes of what's coming up later today. We'll have a lot from Manny Diaz today. Looking forward to the North Carolina game. We'll be talking to T-Rob, which is always a fun thing, and also Rhett Lashley today. It'll be interesting to see what they have to say after the open week, and maybe some of the different things that have been going on the practice field that we'd love to get some more insight on. So today it'll be an action-packed day, and then as the week goes forward, of course, Tuesday night we'll have our CaneSport Live show. Oh, actually, I take that back. We're not doing CaneSport Live this week because there was not a game, but we will on Wednesday night be doing the Lamar Thomas show. So you have that to look forward to on Wednesday night. Of course, we'll have Good Morning CaneSport for you all week. So a lot to look forward to this week at CaneSport.com. Hope everybody had a great off weekend. A lot of great college football on television, and I'm sure everybody got a chance to see that. And Matt, as a parting thought, as I was watching these games this weekend, the thing that really struck me was that when you look at a lot of these teams, Miami really is far away, and this is not an aberration. This is nothing to pretend doesn't exist. Try to sweep under the rug or whatever. The Hurricanes have a long way to go in terms of being amongst the elite in college football, and I guess you can only go day by day. And when you look at the way FSU beat North Carolina, this is a huge week for Manny and this team going up to Chapel Hill. It would be a really bad look if a week after FSU, which is considered one of the worst teams in the ACC this year, went to Chapel Hill and upset North Carolina. Miami didn't play a good football game. So a lot at stake this week. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it, the last time we did this, you said, oh, the North Carolina game is so important. I said, no, it's not, for Manny Diaz. Like, whether they win or lose this game, Manny Diaz is going to be in trouble. So, if they win, it'll make him in a little bit less trouble short term, because if they can win the Coastal, I mean, Miami administration is going to probably try to argue that he should stay. But
he definitely stays if he wins the Coastal.
Well, if you win the Coastal, you could win the Coastal with 3 losses this year and then lose the ACC title game, and now you got 4 ACC losses and almost a losing record. So, I mean...
But I think he would stay if they did that.
I understand, but the fans are going to be outraged. Anyway, whatever. Look, if he wins North Carolina, it doesn't matter. If he loses North Carolina, it's going to be a lot worse. So, I still think fans don't want him to stay whether he wins North Carolina or not. That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, right now it's all conjecture on our part, and the administration is not really saying anything at all. So we don't really know what they're thinking. I'm sure there's a lot of conversation behind the scenes, and that'll unfold depending on how these games unfold. So right now it's all about going to North Carolina, trying to play a good game at Chapel Hill, and we'll see what happens from there. So that's going to do it for today. For Matt Shodell, I'm Gary Ferman. We thank you for joining us once again on Good Morning CaneSport, and we'll be coming back to you all week, and we'll have a lot more coverage for you later today. Goodbye, everybody.